What's going on, everyone? It's Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. This is our round 3 DFS Showdown targets for the 2021 Honda Classic. Typically, we go live, but we're not going live today. Life got in the way, so we're doing a pre-recorded show for you. Round 2 just ended. Craig, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, my initial thoughts are it's very difficult to try to figure out who's doing anything in this tournament.
Totally.
There's names that are just going off that there's no rhyme or reason. So, I can only imagine the optimal lineup today has about $4,000 left on the board or something. But to me, it's just stick with it. Stick with what's working. Hopefully you spike one of these guys. But I still think we knew going in that this is not a very predictive course. There's just none of the metrics are super predictive at this course. And so this is not unsurprising.
Yeah. Looking at what the course has done so far, though, so we had a kind of bloodbath on day 1, 1.43 over. A little bit easier today, less wind, 0.67 over. Our picks were 0.67 under. Nice kind of flip there. Some better than others. Poulter, for me, didn't do so well in the bear trap, but my other guys did okay.
Yeah. Beating the field, that's okay. I got beat up pretty good in my showdowns. I think it was a 60% loss on my entries today. So I actually already decided I played half what I normally play in showdowns this week. And I think I'll probably do the same through 3 and 4.
That's a 40% win, though, Craig. I had a couple lineups. I went 0 for 2. I'm okay with that. Like you said, it's hard to predict. It's a single round of golf in a very unpredictable.
Well, and that's why, courses where we feel like there is more predictive weight to things, I'd rather not use the entries here, not use the potential bankroll losses here, and use it somewhere else because you're essentially just trying to spike a somewhat fluky winner here. But totally. That's where, to me, you kind of just you want to have your core plays, and then you got to mix it up outside of that.
No one to lay off the gas, and then no one to hammer it when you got a good feeling about something. Okay, so looking ahead at tomorrow, obviously the cut happened. 4 to 5% of DFS lineups in tournament long contest got 6 of 6 through, so it's pretty tough out there. Lee Westwood, I think, was the highest priced guy that didn't make it. He had a kind of blooper putting up the hill early in the morning today, but he is not making the weekend. And like you said, the optimal lineup right now is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars under.
Yep.
So looking ahead at the weather, anything you're taking away at that? I mean, before we went live, halfway through the day, it looked like the afternoon was even worse. So it has come down a little bit. So we're on the West Coast. Before I go to bed this morning, because I won't wake up before round 3, I'll double check just to make sure if it doesn't change again. But
it looks like you don't necessarily want to have the leaders based on that. Regardless of we don't know yet. We don't have tee times yet. We don't know if they're starting going twosomes all the way through, or if they're doing a middle out. But regardless, the leaders will be out there last, and so. I want to potentially have people who are getting out on the course sooner. I'm not going to go crazy trying to, get guys that if it is twosome starting at the bottom, I'm not going to go crazy trying to get those guys because they haven't been playing the best golf. But I still think that's where there's potential value.
So if we're jumping into our picks, that's kind of what I did. I did a couple things, but do you want to jump into it?
Yeah, let's do it. You're up.
Okay. So my first one is Kirk, 9,800 on DraftKings. He is out earlier. I'm predicting he is out earlier. I'm just kind of going back to basics for tomorrow, Craig. I'm going to guys that are hitting the ball well. The most unpredictable stat, putting, they're not doing well right now. So I think they can maybe get back to their mean in putting a little bit, but they're hitting the ball well so far through the tournament. So Kirk, 68 round 1, 71 round 2. He's 1 under, 5 birdies, 4 bogeys. Great off the tee, 2.76. These are cumulative stats through the first 2 days, so that's about 1.5. Strokes gained approach, about 2, so about 1 per day, 39th there. Around the green, good. Putting, horrible, minus 2.38. So I did some digging. What has Kirk done recently? What has he done this year? So on this year, he's positive strokes gained putting in 9 of 20 rounds, which is okay. He's around 0 for, I think, his season average. But he is negative in his last 5. And that is a little bit concerning. So I feel like either one has to give. He has to bounce back with his putter, or this is downward trend. I I don't like a ton of guys up top. I'm gonna bet on the fact that he has a bounce back day with his putter.
Yeah, I would also be a little bit curious to know, like you could have a minus point 2 day putting, and it's not a huge deal, but you can also have minus 3 days on the greens, and it just kills you. So obviously he has not been great this week, but I'd be curious to know that the rest of those 5 are they badly negative, or is he kind of just hovering close to zero?
It kind of is trending in the wrong direction. Like it's minus 0.5 and minus 0.7. Like it is trending the wrong way. So there's definitely reasons to be worried.
Yeah. I don't mind the play though. I agree with you. I think ball strikers are the safer thing to look at. It is expensive, I think, but where else are you going to spend your money?
I know. Like he's as close to as good ball striker I think we can find right now.
Well, there's one person I would argue is better, and there's a couple, but one of them is definitely Sungjae, 10,500. He's gone 68, -4, 8 birdies, 4 bogeys. So his ball striking this week, you look at it, he's gained 2 off the tee. He's lost almost 3.5 on approach. So I actually didn't dig in to what how many he's put in the water, but obviously he's rinsed a few. But putting and around the greens, he seems to be gaining a lot of it back. And those ranks are wrong.
I was going to say the putting looks off.
Yeah. So regardless, the reason I think Sungjae is the play, it has less to do necessarily with how his stats break down this week, and it more just to do with, so of his last 23 rounds, he's gained over 4 in 7. That's 30%. Now, over 4 is an outlier round. Sungjae seems to be very good. I don't know if you remember back over the last few tournaments, but there always just seems to be one round where he goes -6 or -7 or just a stupid round. And it comes up often enough that it is a bit of a trend that it does happen with some regularity. But then you combine that with the fact that he's gained over 2.3 strokes in 6 straight rounds at this course. So, to me, it's just a guy that has a good feel for this course. Yes, that obviously counts as win last year, but then he's come in here and he's done that both days. So to me, I think this guy is, first off, him or Neiman, I think, are the best players in the field. So on a build like this, where you don't have to be super concerned about salary, and you can really spread it out. A bunch of guys in the 7K that have value. So I'm gonna be plugging in Sungjae or Neiman. I think one of the two potentially into every lineup, because I like the pedigree that they bring to the table relative to everyone else in the field.
I completely agree. They are in a separate tier, clearly, from the rest of the field. That just looking at the sample size of the last 2 years, let's say, they're more likely to pop off than anyone else. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I like to play. I like Sungjae.
I like Sungjae too.
Okay, my next pick, I'm going Sepp Straka, 7,300. He reminds me, so he went 68, 70. He's 2 under. Reminds me a lot of Neesmith, who I talked about yesterday. Neesmith had a good day, ball striking. He got a birdie streak for us. He did well for us. Sepp Straka is kind of the same. 9 birdies, 5 bogeys, 1 double. Off the tee, he's great. Around the green, great. Putting, pretty average, -0.1. So why is he losing strokes on approach? Well, he put one in the water on 16 today. The bear trap came up and got him. So he is 77th in approach. But looking at his season-long stats, we know he's one of the best ball strikers. 0.32 strokes in approach on the season. He doesn't lose strokes in approach often. I'm just at 7,300. He's in the 6,000s. I played him tournament long. I'm not quite sure if I have him in a 6 of 6. I'd have to double check. But he's got that ball striking floor, and I just like to play at 7,300. I think you can do a lot worse than Sepp Straka.
Yeah, I was a little surprised he's still priced down there. I agree. I like the price. I like the play. It's tough to try to figure out who are the randoms who are going to go -6 or -7, but I feel like I'll be plugging in guys like Sepp Straka and hoping that it just happens to be them instead of Sam Ryder or whoever the somewhat random seeming person to go off. Now, just real quick, I did pull up Sungjae here. So the numbers were right in terms of his around the green and putting. It's about just over 4 and just over 3 strokes gained, and he's 5th and 17th ranked in them. So that makes a little bit more sense in terms of
with the numbers.
Okay, my next one here, Kevin Streelman, 7,900. This is a guy I was on today, and it actually was looking a lot better than it finished because he made a few bogeys along the way, but he's gone 69, 67. He's -4. He's filled up the stat sheet: an eagle, 12 birdies, 8 bogeys, 1 double, and he's done it. He's been pretty good with the putter. Now he's top 50 in both approach and off the tee. He's lost around the green, but his putter's been hot. So sometimes that's a concern, but to me it's more just, I think he's still gained 2.5 strokes with his ball striking. If he was -2 on the tournament and had gained 3 strokes putting, I'd be happy. It's just sweet. That's what he's done so far. The biggest concern for me is that might attract a little bit more ownership his way. Really, he's gained in 13 of his last 18 rounds, and he's 7th in the field tee to green over the past 3 months. So his ball striking's in a good place. He seems to be, gaining in better fields than this. So it just seems to me like it is. If he can eliminate some of those bogeys, he's having so many good holes that he can go low. He was at -5, I think, at one point on his round at one point today. So
he looked like the showdown darling today for sure. At a point. Those numbers are crazy. Eagle, 12 birdies, 8 bogeys, 1 double. That's absolutely insane. Like, that's a cycle scorecard for 2 straight days.
Yeah. Now so the 12 birdies, that's tied for 2nd in the field, and then he has an eagle. And he's still he's only at -4. So there's been a lot of sloppiness along with it. But
concerning when you're looking Wednesday night, do I want Streelman? But when he's playing on the weekend, he's worth almost that dart throw in Showdown. His volatility is worth that dart throw.
And I think I'll probably like him. Finishing position might become a bit of a play when you look at all these bogeys he's got behind him. But for Saturday, good things.
Yeah. Okay, my last pick. This is probably the one a little bit crazier of my 3 picks here, but I'm going Charl Schwartzel, 7,000 on DraftKings. He's gone 70, 69, 1 under. So again, my 3 plays, I predict they will go out a little bit earlier, get the better weather, but I feel like they're still good plays regardless, despite their scoring their first 2 days. Kind of like the Streelman track, but a little bit less. 1 eagle, 6 birdies, 5 bogeys, 1 double, a little bit of everything. But this is what I'm talking about. The ball striking is great. The around the green game is great. The putting is horrible right now. So he's losing 2.61 putting, 119th in the field. Again, that's for the total of 2 days. Getting around the green, 3.3 on approach, over 1.5 per day, and around even on off the tee. Not too concerned about that. But looking at his career at PGA National, with these veterans, they usually have quite a few rounds under their belts. He has 24 rounds. That's a good amount of sample size for me to base how he's played this course before. His strokes gained putting at PGA National is 0.93 strokes gained putting. Compared to his -2.6, -1 per day, that is if he just gets back to somewhat normal, he's doing way better with how he's striking the ball. 7,000, I don't think he's going to get a ton of ownership. Just a sneaky play that could go low tomorrow.
Yeah, I like it. Putting is such a wild card. But
golf is a wild card.
Showdown is a wild card. I like Schwartzel. So this is exactly the type of somewhat random play that I feel like is happening this week. That who are these guys at -1 and lower 7,000s that are going to pop off? I think what you're saying with his ball striking and not having a good putter, this is kind of a classic Showdown play.
Exactly.
And so I like it. I think you kind of, like you were saying, you go back to basics a bit and you look for the people that it makes sense that they should turn it around. Yeah. Okay, my last one here. I actually liked this one a little bit more before he finished the day, but Harold Varner III, he has Sorry, I'm just getting a call here and it started to come up on my computer. But it's just
Yeah,
our
no
older
worries.
brother. He's trying to talk to me about golf and getting all the tips, but I'll just ignore him.
How come you didn't call me? Wow. Wow.
HV3, he's 77,000. He's gone 71.65, -4 on the tournament. 9 birdies, 5 bogeys. He ended with a birdie streak today. So I had already sort of started to plug him in here as a pick, and his ownership might creep up a bit, but you know what? I'm okay with it. I still think the reason I like it, I'm still there. So he's gained over 4 strokes ball striking. So that's over 2 around. I love that. He's gained around the green. He's lost a bit putting. Now, HV3 is someone who has been very tough for me to figure out because he oftentimes pops in the model, as other ball strikers do. But I feel like I'm going to, I'm on him tournament long this week. I was on him today for Showdown. At some point, you have to kind of trust the numbers. And it seems like his recent form is starting to match up a little bit with it. So 9 of his last 11 rounds, he's just gained strokes, period.
Yeah.
In this field, he's 4th in the field tee to green over the past 6 months. So those are the type of things that just make someone pop in the models. And so to get that guy at 77,000, we saw a little bit today what he can do. My biggest worry is because he finished with the flurry of birdies, does that bump up his ownership a bit? And ultimately, I'm going to take shots with him regardless. I don't care if his ownership does creep up a bit. I don't think it's going to be crazy. So
Here's my concern. So he was one of my last cuts tournament long, but it's kind of like HV3 or in calm weather or HV3 in the wind. If he hits the wind, I feel like I've been burned enough times.
But
HV3 in the wind that
me too. But it's been the last bit here that he's actually played well in the wind. So I just don't know. I don't know. I agree that we have been burned by him in the wind. You look at Bermuda.
Yeah.
You look at I think Genesis. He fell off too on the windy day. Or AT&T Pebble Beach. I think he fell off that windy day. So I agree, but.
That's all I'm saying. The 65 is in the calm day. I don't know how he's going to respond tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hear you.
Okay, thank you everybody for watching. If you have not already, subscribed to our channel, please. It does mean a lot. Hit that thumbs up button. Let us know who your favorite play is for Saturday at the Honda Classic. And we will be joining you live most likely Saturday night for our round 4 picks.
Yeah, sorry we couldn't go live tonight, guys. If you do want to chat at all, we'll be in the Discord as usual. Yeah. Check out the link below for that, and good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, see you guys.